Peace to the gods and the goddesses of the nation and of the land and of all creation. I hope everybody doing well. Hope you blessed in a good mood and spreading that impact on everybody that you come in contact with. This is something that I didn't want to do because I genuinely think that PHARAOH is a good dude. I genuinely think that he's a very smart person. And if you watch my videos and seen the things, that I talk about and have been witnessing me for the years that I've been around, you've known that the majority of the time I've took PHARAOH's side when it came to such things as like with Polite, with Sonetta, with, and a whole host of other people. You know that this is not no hate. I think he's a good dude genuinely. But I gotta call young PHARAOH out for something that I seen him do. And this is just an assumption. And if he ever felt like he wanted to address the situation, he more than welcome to. I know PHARAOH like to do things peacefully, and I'm a very peaceful person too. So, shit still sharpens steel at the end of the day. But what I've seen from young PHARAOH, I feel like he a Trump supporter. And me being the person that I am and knowing the things that I know about Donald Trump, he's not a person that I feel that black people should be supporting. This man has countless times, have held racial remarks about black people, and not only black people, about Hispanic people, about immigrants that's coming from Africa and other countries that's trying to make good with themselves. This man does not care about anything. He will use black people if it means that he will get across the things that he needs to get across in order to implement his agenda. You got to understand, this is not the time in our lives for us to be selling our souls for $1. This is not the time for us to accept things because a person wants to give us money. Money does not buy your respect. It buys people work doing things for you, but it does not buy your respect. And if you are a black man or a black woman and you sitting up here supporting a bigot, a man who has no regard for you, whose only use for you is until you used up, and then he throw you away with the rest of the garbage that he done used up in the past. And this is something that I got to get to the young brother, young PHARAOH head. I need you to understand that by you supporting this man, you are not only bringing us 50 years back, you're bringing us 400 years back, because right now you're doing exactly the same thing that the Africans that was in Africa did to their people a long time ago, which was sell them into slavery. You may not think that. Well, I got a couple of slides for you to let you know the truth. It's time for motherfuckers to wake up and stop doing this little sucker shit and riding with people whose only benefit is to hurt you. That man don't give a fuck about you. There's no reason why you should be supporting him. You get what I'm saying? Now, let me just throw up a couple of slides so people can really understand where I'm coming from, so you can know that this shit is serious. And I'm not saying this because I hate young PHARAOH. I don't hate that man. He's a good dude. I believe that he does have a genuine heart, and he wants good things for the African race throughout the African diaspora. But just because a nigga wear a kufi don't mean that he bright. Just because PHARAOH is smart doesn't mean that he knows everything. And to be honest with you, even though I think he has a genuine heart, I truly don't know his heart. But all I can do is comment and give my opinion on the things that I know. And I know for a fact that Donald Trump don't give a fuck about black people. He never has, and he never will. Proof being shown. And trust and believe, you already know how I do. You're going to see these slides. The Justice Department undertook its own investigation and in 1973 sued Trump management for discriminating against blacks. Both Fred Trump and the company's chairman and Donald Trump as president were named as defendants. It was front page news, and for Donald amounted to his debut in the public eye. Now what you see right here is an affidavit from the Donald Trump. Affidavit of Donald Trump in 1973 about the housing bias case. In a 1973 court filings, Donald J. Trump denied allegations by the government that Trump management had engaged in racial bias in its renting of apartments. The document was contained in the National Archives. Looking back, Mr. Trump's response to the lawsuit can be seen as presaging his handling of subsequent challenges in business and in politics, rather than quietly trying to settle, as another New York developer had done a couple of years earlier. He turned the lawsuit into a protracted battle, complete with angry denials, character assassination, charges that the government was trying to force him to rent to welfare recipients. Do you understand this? This whole thing started out of respect for a black woman who was a nurse who was living inside the YWCA. If you look up this court filing, then you will see for yourself. This was something that they had people who were actors go to his buildings who were black and who were white. The whites were accepted, the blacks weren't. Was trying to force him to rent to welfare recipients in $100 million countersuit. What happened? When it was over, Mr. Trump declared victory, emphasizing that the consent decree he ultimately signed did not include an admission of guilt. Basically telling you that he settled in court with these people. Basically, he paid them, but he still considered it a victory because he had no admission of guilt. But an investigation by the New York Times, drawing on a decades-old file from the New York City Commission on Human Rights Internal Justice Department records, court documents, and interviews with tenants, civil rights and activists and prosecutors, uncovered a long history of racial bias at his family's property in New York and beyond. Basically telling you that this just wasn't something that was being practiced in this man's business. This was being practiced at this man's home. This was being something that he was raised in by his father, by his mother, by his brothers, by his sisters, by his aunts, by his uncles. The people who were around him were racist people. As is the case in many housing discriminating lawsuits, white testers, being the actors, the people who was acting, were encouraged to rent at certain Trump buildings, while the black testers were discouraged, denied, or steered to apartment complexes that had more racial minorities. According to the testimony, Trump's defense was that he did not want to rent to people on welfare, black or white. The suit, eventually resolved by a settlement, may have taught Trump the wrong lesson. So you basically telling people that you don't want to rent to welfare patients, whether they be black or white. But when you got people, actors, that's coming there to test out your facilities, they're noticing that the white people are getting the good treatment, but the black people are not. Are you, brother? This is who y'all really want to support? And this is in response to the video that PHARAOH made not too long ago with the female who is, I guess she's a conservative, but conservatives have to go under Republican side. But basically, she's a Republican. This is what y'all want? But sister, I got some more for you too. This is just for PHARAOH. Floundering presidential re-election campaign. The Post reported, now this is the New York Post, the Affirmatively Furthering Fair Housing AFFH rule promulgated by Obama administration in 2015 sought to strengthen anti-discrimination laws by requiring local governments receiving federal money to draft plans to desegregate their communities. Knowing Trump's background, Knowing Trump's background, it was little surprise that Trump moved last week to repeal that rule with language that appeared to hark back to an era of whites distancing themselves from black Americans. Basically, when he repealed that law, he basically was saying that no, we don't want black people, poor black people, or even good black people who trying to do something to themselves. We're going to boost up the property value so they don't have enough money to be able to come into our communities. Further evidence, just to make sure the message was not lost on anyone, the president tweeted on Wednesday, mind you, July 29th, 2020, this year, the man that you supporting, I am happy to inform all of the people living in their suburban lifestyle dream that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low income housing built in your neighborhood. So basically what he's telling, who lives in low income housing? Black people, Spanish people, people of your color that lives in low income housing. Come on, you came from low income housing. I came from low income housing. I'm pretty sure the lady that you was talking to on that video came from low income housing. So you telling me that you in support of a man who's willing to keep you, a person who's trying to do good with themselves, out of a neighborhood where they are away from violence and away from things of that nature that can hurt them? Of course we want to keep the bad people out, but not every black person is bad. On August 8th, now, this is another thing with people. How can you support this dude? On August 8th, at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, President Donald Trump announced that his administration is seeking to delay much of the payroll tax that funds Social Security, one of 4 unilateral actions he took in lieu of negotiating with Congress on meaningful economic relief legislation. The president also said that if he is reelected, he wants not only to turn the delay into a tax cut that will result in significant revenue losses for Social Security, but also to eliminate employee payroll taxes for good. As our analysts based on the Social Security trustees' projections show, eliminating employee payroll taxes along the lines that the president has proposed would be absent. Social Security is funded. What is Social Security? Security is 2% payroll tax paid both by employees and employers. This payroll tax goes into Social Security Trust Fund. According to trustees' latest projections, the trust fund ensures that Social Security beneficiaries can count on all of their promised benefits until 2035, giving Congress enough time to address Social Security's longer-term financial shortfall. Currently, 65 million people receive Social Security benefits, including retirees, people with disabilities, widows and widowers, and surviving spouses and children of workers. Most seniors and disabled workers beneficiaries rely on Social Security for a majority of their expenses, fam. So you mean to tell me you in support of a person that's gonna hurt your grandmother? That's going to hurt your mother, that's going to hurt your nieces and your nephews, who's willing to take a part of the money, and I'm not saying that all of Social Security will be demolished, but I'm just saying that it's not like people on Social Security is getting a lot of money as we speak. So by him cutting the taxes of people I could see him cutting the taxes for people that's making under 50,000. Okay, yeah, but people under 100,000, those people that's making $75 to $100,000 a year are living good. What's wrong with them paying some taxes? What's wrong with them still helping out the communities? Because these are the people, now mind you, these are people who are currently working. These are not people that's unemployed. These are people that's currently working at that time, who's still taking care of their family, who bring in close to who bring in close to $8,000 home per month. Now, you mean to tell me that those people right there can't donate a little bit to society, to their forefathers and elders and people throughout this country who really need those helps? What about the people that got to pay rent and get food that's on Social Security? You want to lower it so it can hurt them? Come on, man, we got to think about this shit. Trump's August memorandum instructed the U.S. Department of Treasury to delay the payment of employee-side Social Security taxes on wage paid from September 2020 to December 2020 to workers earning less than $4,000 every week, roughly $100,000 on an annual basis, because employers are legally required to withhold employees' share of the tax, notwithstanding Trump's memorandum. Many tax lawyers and payroll administrators have raised doubts about whether employees will see any boost in their paychecks from moving back the tax deadline. Employers may simply continue to withhold tax from them until everything basically clears out, family. So you doing this and it's still not going to save people money. Employees may simply continue to withhold tax from paychecks and hold on to the money until the delayed deadline for paying it to the government. Regardless, the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget has estimated that up to $100 billion in payroll tax revenue flowing into Social Security could at least be delayed under Trump's action. This what you want done to your grandmother? This what you want to do to that old lady who's already struggling to get food and take care of herself? Who got to pay, because mind you, with Social Security, you have to pay for your medical. You got the A and B, and you have to pay. So they're going to have to pay for their car fare. They're going to have to pay for their rent. They're going to have to pay for their phone. They're going to have to pay for their food. All coming from that Social Security. If you know anything about Social Security, the majority of the people that receive Social Security only receive about $800 a month. Once your Medicaid, the AB, and all of your travel expenses are paid for, you're left with about $600. Most people that's on Social Security do have places where it's income based, so they'll be paying about $200 for rent every month. That leaves them with $400. Mind you, they still have to get food for themselves. Mind you, they still have to take care of their phone. If they want internet to be able to keep in contact with their family, they still have to pay for the internet bill. You are basically supporting a man who's going to put your grandmother in the fucking hole. This is the memorandum on deferring the payroll tax obligations in light of the ongoing COVID-19 disaster. This is the memorandum. Memorandum for the Secretary of Treasury. And I'm not going to read all of this to you, but I will include the link in this description so you can see it for yourself. See that this is not no joke. Subject: deferring payroll tax obligations in light of the ongoing COVID-19 disaster. By the authority vested in me as the President by the Constitution and its laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered as follows. Now, I'm not even going to read the entire thing to you. I want you to go see for yourself, and it's basically explaining to you everything that I just explained to you and that I just read on previous slides. But I guarantee not in one section of that memorandum will you ever read that he is increasing the taxes to the people making over 100,000. So where is the money that was given to them people? That's the $100 billion that's going to be taken away from Social Security benefits. Where is that coming from? Because it's sure not coming from the rich and famous just like him, because he, in that memorandum, he does not for one second explicitly say that he's going to take taxes, he's going to raise the taxes for the people that's making over $100,000 that's currently working at this point in time. So where is the $100 billion going to come from, family? Let me know. Now, why do I say all this? That Trump is racist and the person that he is, and even though I don't explain it to you. Next slide. What happened in 1927? On September 9th, 2015, 3 months after Trump announced his bid for president, the tech blog BoingBoing.net published a New York Times article from the 1927 that reported that Donald Trump's father, Fred Trump, had been detained at a KKK rally on Memorial Day weekend. According to the article, 1,000 white robed Klansmen marched through the Jamaica neighborhood, eventually spurring an all-out brawl, which 7 men were arrested. Among those arrested, the article identifies a man with the name and address of the home of Trump's father in Jamaica. I know you don't heard about this before, Queens. The article details that the charges filed against 6 of the men. However, it does not identify any charges against the elder Trump and merely states that he was discharged. Why was he discharged? Because he was a rich white man who had money and didn't need to, and they wasn't going to bring that type of attention to him. I'm pretty sure that you already know this in the Zach too. But I guess the questions, okay, and I was just about to go past a slide. Now you see already that his dad was raised up with motherfucking KKK and that he has a history of being fucking rude to black people. Here is further evidence that Trump supports the KKK and that he is a pure fucking liar and never remembers anything that he says, so he can't never back up his comments. You know, we see this time and time again with Trump, where he'll say something and then the White House have to go right behind him and be like, hey, he didn't mean it, whatever. Now, this is an interview from Tapper. He said, but I guess the question from the Anti-Defamation League is even if you don't know about their endorsements. Mind you, this is talking about David Duke, the head member of the KKK, who endorsed Trump. Even if you don't know about their endorsement, there are these groups and individuals endorsing you. Would you just say unequivocally you condemn them and you don't want their support? Trump. Well, I have to look at the group. I mean, I don't know what group you're talking about. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about. I would have to look. If you would send me a list of the groups, I will do a research on them. And certainly I would disavow if I thought there was something wrong. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? But this shows you right here that Trump, he say dumb shit and he get caught up in his own lies. CNN's Jake Tapper. I want to ask you about the Anti-Defamation League, which this week called on you to publicly condemn unequivocally the racism of former KKK Grand Wizard David Duke, who recently said that voting against you at this point will be treason to your heritage. Will you unequivocally condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election? Trump. Well, just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke. Okay, I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists. So I don't know. Did he endorse me or what's going on? Because you know I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. And so you're asking me a question that I'm supposed to be talking about. Are you fucking serious? This shows you right here that this nigga is a fucking pure liar and racist. And when it comes to people voting for him, this shows you how he'll do you too. When it comes to people that who's voting for him, willing to get him ahead, he will accept them at any shape or form. But if you're going against him, no matter who you are his enemy. Proof and point right here. This is in 2000. The Reform Party now includes, this is Trump. The Reform Party now includes a Klansman, Mr. Duke, a neo-Nazi, Mr. Patrick Buchanan, and a communist, Miss Lenora Fulani. This is not company I wish to keep. Quoted from Trump in a statement saying he will not accept the Reform Party nomination for president February 13, 2000. But here we go in 2015, the same men that's in this clip right here that you're talking about, you're calling a Klansman, but in 2015 you claiming you know absolutely nothing about this man. So when it comes to the point where it will hurt you, it's a problem. When it comes to the point where it will go against you getting your money right and you being president, it's a problem. He's a Klansman. But when he's the one on the other side supporting you to put you in office, all of a sudden you don't know his sins. How much of a hypocrite can you be? How much can a hypocrite can you be to support him if you black? He's basically saying one thing and giving you another thing at the same time, family. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And this one right here is for you, sister. This is the last one because I'm not trying to make this a 50-minute video, but I want you to understand what you are subscribing, not only yourself, but those who you influence. Those young ladies that you influence. Those women who look up to you. This is what you are telling them to accept. At least 26 women have accused President Donald Trump of sexual misconduct since the 1970s. Renewed attention was brought to the allegations amid the Me Too movement and the national conversation concerning sexual misconduct. On June 29th, columnist E. Jean Carroll accused President Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her by forcing his you-know-what inside her in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room in the mid-1990s. I don't care that the Democrat Party had them bring these women to the forefront. It's the point that it is accused of him. And in September 2020, a model, Amy Doris, said that in the 1997, Trump forcibly kissed her, groped her all over her body, and she gripped her tightly so she couldn't get away. Is that the type of man that you want representing your country, who doesn't give a damn about a woman? And I'm pretty sure you know this one right here. A deluge of women made their accusations public following the October 2016 publication of the Access Hollywood tape, in which Trump was heard boasting about grabbing women's genitals in 2005. Some of Trump's accusers made their stories public months before the tape's release, and still others came forward in the months following. This is really what you want, sister. This is the type of representation that you want being displayed to these young black women out here that you sitting up there coaching to be a follower of this monster. He's an animal. Take your ass home and think about what you're doing, sister. Because what you're doing is stupid. You're following somebody who don't give a damn about you. PHARAOH, you're following somebody who doesn't give a damn about you. The only benefit that you are to him is to gain the masses so he can be in office. And when you're doing that, you're pushing us back 400 years, back to the part of where slavery first started in America, where our forefathers sold us and put us on ships so a person can use us to pick cotton. Learn who you supporting. Read about that person. Don't just support them because they may give you a certain amount of dollars or you have a certain type of benefit when you support that person. Support that person because you know their heart and you know the person that they really are. and that you feel genuinely in their heart that they truly do care about you, not just trying to get you to gain the masses for them. Until then, family, man, peace to the gods and the goddesses of the nature of the nation of the land and of all creation, and know who you supporting, family. Until then, man, until I get back with you next week, man, stay blessed.